All right, so finally had a chance to get this thing cleaned up after King of the Hammers. Super dirty. I've been just swamped with customer work since I've been back, so finally had a break between jobs today. So got all washed up, pulled off the belly pan. This is pretty gross. Hammer dust mixed with 90 weight. I think I mentioned it before, the lost the rear output seal on the transmission during the race and just completely soaked this thing in 90 weight. I went through, I don't know, a couple quarts, kept stopping and adding more to it, trying to keep the tranny alive, but it ended up coming apart. Sounds terrible, sounds like a box of gravel. Made it back to camp after the race, but you know, it's definitely done. So starting to get it pulled apart. I've got another spare tranny I got to go through, put new bearings in. But the biggest thing about this video, another huge thank to these guys. So I'm getting started working. Got a package in. Another project I'm getting started on. Doing a exo cage on this little guy. And then built some swing away window nets for this. The frames are already sent off to the 503 design. They're gonna build the nets, but just waiting for the customer to pick this thing up. So anyway, pretty stoked. So I got another TRE e-locker for the rear. Currently I have the one in the front and a lock right. So I'm gonna have this in the rear and then a new set of headlights. Well, I mean, they're driving lights, but I use them as my headlights. And I will do another video here pretty quick. I'll hook up one of these and show a difference. I was playing around with this. Seemed pretty awesome so far. Super impressed with the quality. Seemed really nice. Got a nice Deutsch style connector, nice quality feeling wire. And man, these, even in the daytime, shine these on the wall, they are pretty bright. So I'm looking forward to doing a video. I'll hook up one on one side and I'll leave one of my old ones hooked up on the other side. The lights I have on the front now are just some cheap 7-inch Hella driving lights. And couldn't really tell when I bought them in the ad, but there's literally one little tiny LED in the center. And they're terrible. They're not very bright at all. So I'm excited to have these guys, because right now I've got those two crummy headlights and I have two little pods on my mirrors and then like a 12-inch light bar. And that's like just barely adequate for driving fast in the dark. So it's gonna be nice to upgrade those. I've been waiting to get to buy this for a while. So this isn't a Samurai part number, but you can see in the description, because I have the Sidekick third members. So this is made for a Sidekick with the larger ring and pinion. And it's a later model with the 12 ring gear bolts. But functionally, they're all the same. So I'm gonna pull that lock right out, get this put in, and then that opens up some, some opportunities to do other things like turning brakes and you can do burn turns a little bit, like where you unlock the rear, and if you have a turning brake, you can grab the inside brake and have the front locked, and it helps you steer a little tighter. So I'm looking forward to being able to do that. So yeah, just wanted to kind of update and give another thanks to TRE4x4. Zepka Customs is the US distributor. And if you go on the Google, just search TRE4x4 USA, it takes you directly to that site. And big thanks to those guys. They've helped me out with this stuff. Yeah, I mean, just nothing but good things to say about this stuff so far. During King of the Hammers, the front diff worked amazing. I'd always had problems with the front lock right skipping in and out, and I've explained in other videos, it really wasn't the fault of the lock right, but anyway, just having the selectable locker is really cool because you can unlock it when it's not needed. And like in the desert, high-speed stuff, it makes it, the car feel a little more predictable and just handles better. And, you know, in high traction areas, you keep the diffs unlocked and you can steer tighter. And then when you get into something hairy, you just click the switch and all 4 wheels going. So pretty cool. And before these guys came around, basically your choices were stock open diffs, Lock-Right, you know, or Spartan, or any of the other little lunchbox mechanical lockers. They're all virtually the same. Mini spools or ARB air lockers. And, you know, function-wise, this is basically exactly the same as an ARB air locker. It's just it uses electricity instead, and it's considerably cheaper. I don't know, I've whipped on mine pretty hard. Going through rocks at high speed, you know, in a race type setting, I don't know how you could be really any harder on it than that. And in my rig, I've got, you know, 33s on Suzuki axles, so that's kind of the upper limit. And then I've got RCV axle shafts. And so probably the weakest link is going to be, you know, the pinion gear followed by the diff itself. So I think that proves that these are pretty solid. And I've spoken to several other people that run these, and as far as I can find, no one's had an issue. So I think if you're looking for good traction, and especially if you drive your Suzuki on the street, this is the way to go, especially in the rear, because, you know, if you have any experience with a Lock-Right in a Samurai on the street, it's awful. It just makes your car feel like a real piece of crap. There's so much backlash and clunking and popping and stuff. I mean, it's definitely doable. I've got probably close to 100,000 miles behind the wheel of Samurais with Lock-Rights, but it's just annoying. So can't wait to get the Lock-Right out of the back of mine and put this in. It's gonna be awesome. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll have some more follow-ups on these lights and the rear diff once I get it in. Thanks.